What are direct taxes in economics? Direct taxes are, you are quite familiar, your parents must be paying these taxes to the government of India. Which are these? These can be income tax, these can be property tax, these can be corporation tax, these can be interest tax. Income tax, property tax, corporation tax, interest tax. What are exactly direct taxes? In case of direct taxes, the tax liability, that is in economics we call it as incidence, and the burden of the tax is on the same person. Again I repeat, the tax liability and burden is on the same person. If they impose an income tax of 50,000 on your income, so who is liable to pay this tax to the government? You. The liability is on you, and the burden is also on you. You have to pay to the government. That is exactly the definition. The tax liability and burden of a direct tax is on the same person, so you have to pay to the government. And the second point, you cannot escape these taxes. You cannot escape interest tax. You can't escape property tax if you have property. You can't escape income tax if you're earning a handsome income or whatever the benchmarks the government has imposed on it. So the first point is, the direct taxes are those whose tax liability and the burden is on the same person. The second point, you can't escape direct taxes. The third point, they're recurring. Recurring means every year you have to pay income tax. You have to pay income tax to the government of India. So that is the direct taxes. Direct taxes are those every year you have to pay property tax, every time you have to pay interest tax. The big companies have to pay corporation tax to the government. Those are the direct taxes. So I repeat, direct taxes are a part of revenue receipts of the government of India budget apart. Revenue receipts are to be discussed. Tax receipts and non-tax receipts, we'll come to that later. What are direct taxes? Direct taxes are those whose tax liability and burden is on the same person. They can't be escaped. They're recurring. As your income increases, your direct taxes also may go up. For example, in India we have progressive taxes. So they can't be escaped. They're recurring. The tax liability is and the burden is on the same person. For example, income tax, property tax.